and welcome to Jammy-D's stream. Unfortunately, we just missed the very start. However, we are looking at the wets race of Spa. And at the moment, we are looking at Senna, who's number 11. Tom Budokan, who I'm unfamiliar with. These are all rally cars, so nevertheless they still should provide a lot of entertainment, as we see first and second, Tesla and Gary from Germany. It's going to be a very interesting race. The GTR that Gary's driving, well, both of them, both two leaders. Oh, a bit of a slide by Mr. Diesel there. It's going to be a tough old race, really, on the whole. It's, the top three are pretty much stuck together, and that's going to be a very entertaining race, as far as I can see. Okay, so let's go down from the number 1 position. Okay, we have Tesla in number 1, trying to get away from Gary. Number 2 also in the GTR. Number 3 we have Mr. Ricey, who also is driving the NSX. 4th we have Diesel, who's driving the Ford Focus. The Iron Doctor from Portugal. I'm unfamiliar with this driver, so he seems to be doing okay so far. LOL Power, I'm unfamiliar again, unfortunately, with this driver at number 6. Mr. Sean, a good driver in his own right, and seems to be driving the Toyota Celica. Very good driving to keep so close and in control. Excellent by Mr. Sean. In 8th we have Alex, Awesome Alex, who is at number 8. It's going to be very interesting nonetheless. We have Neil and Tom Budokan, who's going on the overtake. Neil is going on the overtake, and he's made it stick, so that's fantastic, good for him. Tom Budokan is in position 11th in the black and green. Martin, it looks like he's obviously had some kind of accident. He's clearly got a bit of tyre wear going on here, quite severely really, and he's quite a distance to catch up to. But then again, he is in the GTR, Nissan GTR, so if he can make it stick, all should be well. But as we stick to the fronts, we have Gary and Tesla. They're very good drivers in their own right, and they should make up for an excellent race. This is tier 1, so the penalties will stand. It's heavy penalties, heavy duty tyre wear, and any damage caused either by yourself or by others will be permanent until righted in the garage. So far so good, I think. Welcome to my stream. And this is Johnny Stream, if you don't know me. I do regular streams. of GTA. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, well, it looks like it's a pretty close race on the whole, really, I'd say. Tesla closely following Gary by 1.1 seconds. Ricey, 1.5 seconds between himself and Tesla. Diesel not far behind by 1.6 seconds. The Iron Doctor and the Scooby should be doing okay, but unfortunately it has horrible tyre wear, I feel, which isn't going to really favour this track, you know, being an extra long track that it is. As we see from behind, we have LOL Power, who's in fact right on the tail of the Iron Doctor. We go down the grid a little bit and have a look at Mr. Sean. I think there's a little bit of a gap for me. I thought Alex was going to be A-OK here, but he seems to be in 8th position, which is, to be honest, is rather unlike him, because I was sure he was going to do pretty well here today. But he's just carrying on, not putting anything under pressure. But you can't go too wide on those curves. So let's see. But in the wet, then again, you can actually drift the car around, and he's nicknamed, or Alex is nicknamed the Drift King. So he should be able to handle this track okay. Excuse me. We have Tom Budokan and Neil. Oh dear, look at that pass. Wowee. Well done, Neil. He actually made it stick and he's carrying on. That's an excellent move. Excellent move by Neil there. And now it's Tom. Seems he's taken the place back. So it's a bit of toing and froing between these two. Should be interesting. Let's have a look at Martin. Well, he's not too far behind Neil now, in fact. 2.3 seconds. So actually, he's actually caught up a lot. You know, with by keeping away from the fighting and everything, he seems to have done very, very well indeed. But nevertheless, in wet conditions, it's it's not great. In heavy wets, it's not great. Okay, well, back in first position, we seem to have 1.5 second penalty, which is a little bit shocking. From Gary. I'm not quite sure what that was, because he was in second, so obviously he may have actually pushed in. I'm not sure, so we will see later on. So we have Tesla and Ricey fighting. This should be an interesting race here with between these two. Yeah, absolutely. They're both very good drivers in their own rights, but one of them has to make it through to second. So it's very interesting with these three, well these four in fact. We have the Iron Doctor, LOL Power, Mr. Sean and Alex bringing up the rear. He's got his own personal best, so good for him. So it's very interesting because, of course, you got all the slower people right at the back. But then again, obviously they are going to be at the back because they are slow people. However, at the front, it's an entirely different story. Gary has almost got rid of the penalty, which should be. Which shouldn't be a problem. However, he doesn't seem to have any body damage either, which is all good. And he seems to be leaving a lot of people behind, which is fantastic for him. Tesla, however, and Rossi are really fighting out. And as you can see from a different view, the Skyline seems to be pulling away on the straights as usual. They're a bit of a beast on the straights, I must admit. Go Rossi. Right, if he can go for this overtake, then that would be absolutely amazing. But I somehow don't think there's enough room. Well, Tesla I think went a little bit too wide there. As you can see from behind, Diesel's at a safe distance now. So he seems to be doing pretty good. Here's Mr. Rossi. Bit of wheel spin from Tesla. But nonetheless, they all seem to be battling quite well. Well, it looks like Alex has actually overtaken the Iron Doctor. Well, as we see, of the three here, we have LOL Power, Awesome Alex, and the Iron Doctor bringing up the rear now. Of the three, Alex has the inside, just not the acceleration and the top speed of the Skyline. So as we swing around, we still have the same positions, which is pretty good for everybody really. Again, Let's have a look down the okay, we have Tesla in first, clearly a leader, 5.1 seconds ahead of everybody else. He is absolutely storming it, and bravo. He may need to pit now. He needs to refuel desperately, and he may as well give it a change of tyres as well. So let's see if he pits or not. I think, yep, he's into the pit. I think a few people will do also. So Tesla also in the pit, second, third, fourth, fifth, and they're all budging to get into the pit in order. Well done to Alex. He ends up in the pit just ahead of his rival. LOL Power. Tom Budokan, Senna, already seems to have changed his tyres. Very good for him. Again, Martin B seems to have changed his tyres. Excellent job. And we go down from Neil, who's in the, well, dare I say, very colourful missile skyline. Certainly go around Rouge very quickly. Gary, who was previously number one, is now number two. So, but then again, Neil, I don't think has changed his tyres. However, he may not need to, but then again, I would actually suggest that he does. But we will see. We have Tesla in third. A pretty good race on the whole. 7 seconds in. He's got a gap of 7 seconds in front. 6.5 seconds behind. So he's pretty much in the middle there, really. And we have Diesel, who's followed by Rossi, who's only a second behind him. And that much should make for some entertaining racing. Racing. That's a good one. Oh, I've got to remember that one. And we have Alex, who's caught in the middle pretty much. He's apart from he's only a second behind Rossi. So look, providing he can follow everybody and get a bit of slipstream, it'll be good on this track. So he was originally in 8th, so now he's actually made up 2 places just on 1 pit stop, so I think that's really good. We moved down to Mr. Sean in the Toyota Celica. These are all GRB cars, all rally spec cars, and rally driving and being in the wet is not my idea of fun, hence me commentating. But this is Jammy-D, and I've decided I will not be racing today. Martin B has made up a lot of time, considering he was obviously had an accident very early on, and has really put his foot down and really starting the charge, to be honest, because he's in 8th rally, considering he was last in 12th position and a long way behind everybody else. Let's have a look at number 12. Something's clearly happened to Tom here. He's obviously gone into the pit, made a change, and then obviously spun out somewhere or other where everybody else hasn't. Seems a bit of a bit of a large gap in fairness. 17 seconds is a large gap. However, next on the list we have Senna, who should, well, it's a bit like my school report really. Good effort, could do better. As for the Doctor, or the Iron Doctor, should be catching up Ricey. Just under 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds now. So he's doing pretty well. Let's have a look at Mr. Ricey with the Rolls-Royce emblem on his car. Very good. as we see with Martin D, when he's trying to catch up with Diesel. And right at the final chicane, just before the line, can he make a better exit than Diesel? And that's the point. The answer is no, not really. So it's no problems as such. However, we will be looking for a good exit here, and well, Diesel hasn't made it stick absolutely perfectly, I must admit. But Martin still seems to be carrying on. And after starting in last, like I say, you know, it's a fantastic effort from Martin. I mean, he is a very, very quick driver anyway, so you know, I'd expect him to be, you know, the top driver. In fact, not just that, he actually has the fastest lap in this race. So that's great. Good for him. But can he catch Diesel, who's 1 second in front? This is the question, really. Well, if we skim down for some other players, other racers, we have Alex in front, followed by Mr. Sean, followed by Mr. DJ Rice, followed by LOL Power, who seems to have done some rescuing later on, but is it all too late? I fear it is. The Iron Doctor seems to have spaced out a lot from his opponents now, with Senna quite a distance away from everybody else. Tom Budokan, serious problems. Obviously there's another person who clearly, very clearly, just does not like the wet, and you can tell. However, this is a person who clearly doesn't mind the wet. Gary from Germany. But as you can see from the cockpit view, it is very wet. It's a bit of a shame about the rear view here. You can't see much. So, with Martin moving himself up to 5th position, it is now the final lap, so in fact he should actually have a good chance of perhaps, if he puts his foot down, catching 4th. Quite frankly, I think that's an amazing race from Martin, that is for sure. Diesel have been solid, you know, pretty much all the way through the race. Really good race by him, in fact, and yeah, absolutely top race. Well done. Dangler, who's not had too many problems. However, Neil, who was first one time, has since pitted and is now almost out of fuel. So this should be interesting on who actually comes across the line and who runs out before. But Gary, it looks like he's going to win it in the Nissan Skyline GTR. Around the final chicane, lovely, and across the line. Wonderful, wonderful finish. Well done, Gary. Absolutely. Neil follows 5.2 seconds behind, followed by Dassler. Again, 5.3 seconds with Diesel. 10.5 seconds behind, 3.1 seconds behind with Martin P, Mr. Sean and Alex, both past the finish line. Well done. Ricey, finish the line and across the line. Very good racing by those guys. And well, power, and here are the scores. Clearly, the victory goes to Gary. Absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. Well done. I'd say he's a top racer. Is And now that is the end of my stream, so thank you for joining me. I will be with you very, very soon, and it's time for my race, which will be streamed in the Formula 1 car. So until then, I bid you farewell. And look after yourself, don't forget to subscribe, and I love you lots. Bye bye for now.